Hello, everyone. You can also take seats in the front. That's all right.
requesting again, we have empty seats in the front. We can settle in the front also.
ને ત્યારે એણે મને કીધું, હું તને કહી દઉં. અને આમાં આમ છે એટલે તને ખબર હોય શું તું આ રાખ.
ચાલુ કરી.
Hello, good morning everyone. I request everyone to settle down. Kindly turn your phones on silent so that we can proceed with the orientation. Thank you. Every beginning carries a quiet kind of magic, the kind that shapes who you become. A very good morning, everyone. I am Shambhavi Singh Chauhan, a second-year design student, and I extend a warm welcome to all the respected faculty, staff, and most importantly, this new batch of young designers and future storytellers. As you begin this incredible chapter of your academic and creative journey, I would like to begin by congratulating you all for being here today. Hosting this program feels like life has come a full circle. I still remember sitting where you are right now, excited, confused, a little overwhelmed, but mostly curious about everything that was about to unfold. This university isn't just about learning how to create. It's about learning how to see. You'll question things you've never questioned before. Unlearn things you thought you knew. Build a perspective that is completely different, but your own. But most importantly, you will find yourself. So as you step into this new journey, as you step into your first semester, don't worry about having it all figured out. Make mistakes, question things, take risks, but enjoy the process. Now, with all the energy and enthusiasm in this room, I invite everyone to race to the moment. Let's give a roaring round of applause to our new incredible cohort as they begin this incredible journey of imagination, growth, and transformation. Welcome to the Anant community, where you don't just dream of a better future, you design it. Every meaningful journey begins with a spark of hope and a ray of positivity. As we come together today at the threshold of new beginnings, let us light a lamp, a symbol of knowledge, positivity, and wisdom, and mark the start of a bright and promising future for us all. But today, we are doing something different, something special. As this is your new chapter, we would love to have a few of you with us for the lighting of the lamp. I kindly ask our Provost, Sanjeev sir, to pick the chit from the bowl. I request Hemang Shah, Vaibhavi Bazala, Avishi Singh, Ankit Paudyal, and Yug Parmar to come forward. The sound of a conch is regarded as a symbol of positivity and new beginnings. As we inaugurate today's ceremony, may I now invite Professor Sanjay, Professor Shrikanta, and Mr. Sachin for the Shankhnad. Following our tradition, I am honored to invite our Provost, Dr. Sanjeev Vidyarthi sir, to join us in this esteemed ceremony of lighting of the lamp. I also call upon my fellow Subhadra from second year, I call upon Subhadra from second year SFTD to recite the Saraswati Vandana and seek the blessings of Ma Saraswati.
Shri Saraswati Namostute वरदे श्री सरस्वती नमोस्तुते परदेवते श्रीपति गौरीपति गुरु गुह विनुते विधियुवते श्री सरस्वती नमोस्तुते वासनात्रय विभजित वरमुनि भावित मूर्ते वासवाद्य किल निर्जर वर वितरण बहु कीर्ते धरहासयुत मुखाम्बुरुहे अद्भुत चरणाम्बुरुहे संसार विद्यापहे सकल मंत्राक्षर गुहे श्री सरस्वती नमोस्तुते परदेवते श्रीपति गौरी पति गुरु गुह विनुते विधियुवते श्री सरस्वती नमोस्तुते
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Subhadra. We have with us our provost, Dr. Sanjeev Vidyarthi, sir. Sanjeev Vidyarthi, sir, is a visionary leader, an architect, urban designer, scholar, and an author. Dr. Vidyarthi holds a PhD and Master of Urban Planning from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, a mark from KU Leuven in Belgium, and a Bachelor of Architecture from Sir J.J. College of Arts, Mumbai. Dr. Vidyarthi is a distinguished academician and a practitioner known for founding Rajasthan's first standalone architectural school, the Ayojan School of Architecture. He has also served as a director of undergraduate studies and head of the Department of Planning and Policy at the University of Illinois, Chicago. He also established and led Chicago's first Master of City Design program. It is now my honor to extend a warm welcome to our new cohort with his address. I request sir to come up on the stage. Please join me in welcoming sir with a huge round of applause.
पॉइंटर पॉइंटर स्लाइड का पॉइंटर वर्किंग थैंक यू आपको आवाज आ रही है पीछे मेरी गुड थैंक यू I want to begin by thanking the organizing committees that were involved in this. ये इतना आयोजन करना, you can imagine, is not easy. The admissions team worked hard bringing you all to the campus. The student affairs team worked very hard to house you in reasonable accommodation on the campus. And then the foundation team also worked very hard to organize this program, including welcome of you all by a student band. How often do you get that? Where fellow students welcome you into this hall. I want to thank the parents who have made possible your upbringing and putting you in a situation where you are attending one of the finest colleges this country has built in the 21st century. मैं आप सबको भी बहुत बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि आपने इतनी मेहनत से इस देश के एजुकेशन सिस्टम में 10वीं की पढ़ाई की, 12वीं के बोर्ड्स पास किए. That sort of, you know, I think back of my own times, education it takes a lot of work and sincerity to get you the spot where you guys are today at. And I also want to thank all my colleagues who have taken time in their busy schedule and their work to be here along with us attending this orientation. ओरिएंटेशन का मतलब है आपको उस नई दिशा के अंदर निर्धारित करना और उस गति से अवगत कराना जो आप लोग फॉर द नेक्स्ट 4 years your bachelor of design, architecture walon ke liye more like 5 years, would spend on this exciting and developing campus. मैं आप लोगों के साथ कुछ ideas which are, I have held on to more serious ideas and entrust Amitabh to sort of take care of them for the following 2 days, where we would sort of do the orientation and set you on that trajectory. But few preliminary ideas that sort of set up कि हम लोग यहाँ करने की क्या कोशिश कर रहे हैं. This is important because Anant is unlike any other design school in this country. So I want to start, as I said, by welcoming, and then the most important idea that I think you want to keep in mind is that on this campus, आप लोगों की जो generation है, 18 to 25 years old, many ways you guys are not only designing for India, as India becomes more prosperous and develops, it needs all kinds of designers, but also by very extension we are designing for the world. ये बड़ा important है. इस वक्त दुनिया की आबादी करीब 8 बिलियन लोग दुनिया में रहते हैं, जिसमें almost 1.5 बिलियन इंडिया में रहते हैं. So 1 in 6, less than that, right? 5.5 में से 1 व्यक्ति दुनिया में हिंदुस्तानी है. And 65% of this country is less than people who are 35 years of age. So people of my generation and people sitting towards the front of this hall are a shrinking minority, and you guys are the majority, not only in this country, but worldwide. आपके नाजुक कंधों पे ना सिर्फ इस देश का बल्कि पूरे भविष्य का, पूरे विश्व का भविष्य टिका हुआ है. It's a very sobering thought, but also a very empowering thought. Remember, you guys can actually go and change the world, and that's a slide I will come back to towards the end of this short and brief provocation. So, what an opportunity. हर जनरेशन के कंधों पे कुछ ना कुछ दारोमदार होता है. मेरी ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स की जनरेशन पे दारोमदार था कि इस देश को आज़ादी दिलाएं. My parents' generation, for example, worked on making this from a British colony to an independent country. My own generation sort of went through the liberalization of this country, the pangs associated from the shift from a broadly socialist to a more liberal economy. और आप लोग अब हम लोगों का नाम ना सिर्फ इस देश में बाकी पूरे विश्व में स्थापित करेंगे, right? So that's sort of the bigger picture you want to keep in mind. एक अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी बनाने के लिए 2-3 बड़े important ingredient हैं that we have been working on this campus for now almost 10 years, and in Sanskar Dham for almost 15 years. सबसे पहले तो एक unmatchable campus. You actually need a lot of physical infrastructure, digital infrastructure, landscape level interventions. The second thing is fantastic faculty. ये दोनों हम लोग, we're very close to being towards the very best, as I said, in this country. The third is bright students. अगर bright students नहीं होंगे ना तो वो बाकी दोनों चीजें उतना अच्छा काम नहीं करेंगी. So we work very hard to bring the brightest in this country, people like you, जो self selected हैं, जिन्होंने खुद choose किया है इनको design करना है, and then to welcome you here on a campus which is both well built as well as staffed with some of the finest bright minds from across the country to create what we call Anant National University. So the few mantras I want to share with you, जो आप लोगों को बड़े helpful होंगे for 4 years of what we call joyful learning. Your days of painful learning are gone. जिस दिन 12th में पास हो गए अच्छे नंबरों से और मार्कशीट आ गई, तो painful learning खत्म. Now the shift is joyful learning. Learning तो रहेगी. And joyful in the sense because you self-selected to be a designer. So if you enjoy something, then it's not painful. Then it's something that you enjoy, right? So एक तो projects के ऊपर focus करें. This is a word that would now sort of become a very important part of your life. इस campus में सब लोग projects की बात करते हैं. मैं आजकल इस project पे काम कर रहा हूँ. 3rd year के studio का ये project है. Projects are very important. बाकी दूसरे schools, doctors don't talk about them, engineers rarely, other people really don't talk about projects. So जो project है, that is a real currency of designers. And I find that is something I learned very well, कि हम किसी project को conceive कैसे करते हैं, उसके बारे में सोचते कैसे हैं, उसको organize कैसे करते हैं, उसको डिलीवर कैसे करते हैं, ये चीज आप लोग बहुत अच्छे से सीखेंगे. And pay a lot of attention to this. You know, the world, actually the workplace, the modern workplace today works on projects. आप लोग पहले दिन से सीख रहे हो कि प्रोजेक्ट हम लोगों के कैसे कंसीव करने हैं, कैसे डिजाइन करने हैं, कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं और कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करने हैं, राइट? ये वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट डिस्टिंग्विशेस डिजाइन एजुकेशन फ्रॉम अदर काइंड्स ऑफ कॉलेज एजुकेशन. द सेकेंड इज, हम आपको कई तरीके की थिंकिंग सिखलाएंगे. आप लोगों को सर्टन काइंड्स ऑफ थिंकिंग आप लोगों ने स्कूल में सीखी है, लेकिन यहां पर हम एक तो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग का सीधा सा मतलब ये होता है कि सही डिसीजन कैसे लिया जाए. सही से मेरा तात्पर्य है एप्रोप्रिएट. हाउ डू यू मेक एन एप्रोप्रिएट डिसीजन? सो एप्रोप्रिएट डिसीजन मेकिंग इज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल और पूरी लाइफ लॉन्ग काम आती है. कैसे आप लोग सीखेंगे इस स्किल को? क्योंकि आप लोग गलत प्रोजेक्ट करोगे, फिर आपके टीचर्स आपको बताएंगे कि दिस वाज नॉट द एप्रोप्रिएट डिसीजन, एंड देन यू विल गो बैक टू द डिसीजन एंड स्लोली, जॉयफुल तरीके से, राइट, नॉट पेनफुल, यू वुड लर्न, यू वुड फिगर आउट कि यार ये एप्रोप्रिएट डिसीजन मेकिंग कैसे की जाती है. द सेकेंड थिंग वी सॉर्ट ऑफ टीच यू इज विजुअल थिंकिंग. विजुअल थिंकिंग इज जिसमें आप लोग, कई लोग, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ यू हैव ट्रेन्ड, बट यू नो, हम अपने दिमाग में विजुअल्स के माध्यम से सोचें, right? So we think in terms of, remember the first artifact that we have found that humans have produced ever. मानव जाति ने सबसे पहली चीज जो बनाई, जो हमें मिली अब तक, वो है cave painting. So humans सबसे पहले we drew, right? So visual thinking. How do you think visually? This is something we'll teach you very well in the design school. And the third thing is spatial thinking. स्पेशल थिंकिंग का मतलब होता है फिजिकल स्पेस, कि जब हम वॉल्यूम, है ना, आपको कई तरीके की एक्सरसाइज कराएंगे, वॉल्यूम, पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव स्पेस, देयर इज अ होल रेंज ऑफ एक्सरसाइजेस दैट वी हैव डिजाइन्ड व्हिच विल टीच यू कि फिजिकल स्पेस के बारे में कैसे सोचते हैं. तो ये तीन हैं मुख्तलिफ, बट देयर आर अदर वेज दैट यू वुड लर्न एज वेल. ये सारे इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. And then a whole suite of skills. आजकल ये बड़ी बात होती है, skills सीखना बहुत जरूरी है. Technical skills, analytical skills, कई तरीके की skills. तीन I'll flag out for you, which I've learned in my career, working in different geographies and different kinds of people. हम अगर अपनी भावनाओं को articulate कर सकें, articulate मतलब ढंग से उनको logically organize कर सकें, communicate कर सकें. आई हैव वेरी लिटिल डाउट कि आप लोग इस स्कूल से, अनंत से, जब 4 साल बाद ग्रेजुएट होंगे, आपको स्किल्स नहीं आती होंगी. सबको स्किल्स आती होंगी. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वुड बी उनको आर्टिकुलेट करके और कम्युनिकेट कैसे करें ताकि जो डिसीजन मेकर्स हैं वो हमारे आइडिया से परसुएड हो जाए. सी व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? सो आप पे अ लॉट ऑफ अटेंशन ऑन लर्निंग इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि हमें अंग्रेजी में बात करनी है, कोई भी भाषा चुन लें. अगर आप सिर्फ गुजराती में बहुत अच्छे से पारंगत होंगे, इस राज्य में कोई कमी नहीं है काम की. स्पीक एनी लैंग्वेज, बट द आइडिया इज आर्टिकुलेट, राइट, एंड कम्युनिकेट एंड मेक ए परसुएसिव आर्ग्यूमेंट. ये दिस इज वन स्किल दैट हैज स्टूड आउट फॉर मी, दैट डिस्टिंग्विशेस सक्सेसफुल डिजाइनर्स हु आर both successful professionally as well as contented intellectually, and someone who is only technically good or analytically strong. So important to keep that in mind. I think we're missing a slide. Yeah, this one. Another word that you would come across, वो आपको पहले सेमेस्टर से शुरू हो जाएंगे और लास्ट तक रहेंगे, context. You know, कुछ डिजाइनर्स के फेवरेट वर्ड्स हैं. एक है प्रोजेक्ट, मैंने आपको बताया. एक है कॉन्सेप्ट, है ना, व्हाट्स योर कॉन्सेप्ट, एंड देन व्हाट इज द कॉन्टेक्स्ट वी आर डिजाइनिंग. And context is critical. Context का मतलब ये होता है कि हमारा आज जिस जगह पर हम डिजाइन कर रहे हैं वो क्या जगह है, उस जगह की क्या देश, काल एवं परिस्थिति, right? That's the way I think of context. Is what is the देश, जगह, physical space क्या है, काल क्या है, what is the time period, and परिस्थिति, circumstance क्या है. This is critical. So I want to now take a few minutes to walk you through a few slides so that you know the context in which Anant has been set up and what we are trying to do here. This is a slide that tracks world population growth through history. We can see in this कि हमारी for a long time, you know, ह्यूमंस की पॉपुलेशन 200-300 मिलियन थी, सिर्फ 20 से 30 करोड़ पूरी दुनिया में. In the last 200-400 years, we have gone from 300 million to 8 billion. हमारे देश में, when I went to school, तब ये बात होती थी कि 80 करोड़ भारतीय हैं. उससे पहले वाली किताब देखें तो बात होती थी आज़ादी के तुरंत बाद 30 करोड़ भारतीय. आज की तारीख में बात होती है 150 करोड़ भारतीय. Right? So we have prospered. If the ultimate success of any species is biological reproduction और कितनी वो तादाद है, so humans have succeeded tremendously in the last 300-400 years. And design has played a vital role. We have designed everything: road systems, irrigation systems, land uses, placement of cities. हर चीज designed है. In today's world, barring the most remotest forest, everything else is more or less designed. Dams, think anything, nuclear plants, designed by fellow human beings, and different kinds of designings involved in this. दुनिया में ये density दिखलाता है ये map, कहाँ पर कितने सारे लोग रहते हैं. And as you can see, India is one of the densest places. 1.5 billion. And if we include our surroundings, that is Pakistan and Bangladesh and Nepal and Bhutan, which is part of the Indian subcontinent, we are almost 2 billion. That means 1 in 4 billion people भारतीय उपमहाद्वीप में रहते हैं. That's a, उस context में आपको design करना है, right? We have, for example, metro rail systems. आप सबको पता है पूरे देश में इस वक्त metro rail systems बन रहे हैं. वो standards जो हैं जिससे वो platform 1.8 meter wide है, वो हमारे देश में काम नहीं करता. That standard was derived out of an American Anglo-Saxon experience. 1.5 billion के लिए शायद हमें 3.8 meters का platform चाहिए. You guys, your generation would have to figure that out, right? It's a massive and very interesting task that you guys are faced with. Similarly, this population we know is not evenly distributed. Chhora Ganga Kinare Wala, that's the song you remember? That's where this song comes from. You can see the Ganges from Calcutta to almost Delhi and further is where the majority population lives. And then this is a massive force unfolding in our society where people are moving from smaller places to bigger places. हमारी urban population बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रही है and rural population कम हो रही है, so then we have to design accordingly. Water stress is high, pollution levels, as we know, along the Ganges are some of the highest anywhere in the world, and we would have to design appropriate Design is a tool, and we do design only when we are faced with challenges. And that's why we call you guys solutionaries. कि complex challenges का solution कैसे निकालें, right? That's where humans, faculties, हमारे दिमाग के सारे तंतु जागृत हो जाते हैं और हम clever design करते हैं और diligent design करते हैं. That's what these challenges alert us to. Population-wise, the country has begun to stabilize, which is good news. We know for a fact that the expenditure on all kinds of infrastructure has been going up in this country. So excellent news for you. That means more and better design. We know in green energy, India is among the top in the world, and Gujarat, our home state, plays a major role in both solar and wind power. So, ये major changes हैं which are unfolding, creating a lot of room for you to do meaningful work. And then our manufacturing and export have been up in over last years. And then the economic focus is shifting to this country in many ways. So this is the context, right? जब आपसे कोई बोले larger context क्या है in which the graduating class of 2030 comes into Anant, this is, in my reading, is going on. We have massive urbanization, enhanced prosperity in this country compared to what the situation was just a few years ago, and the changing climate, which means more investment and patronage for sensible design work in foreseeable future. उज्जवल भविष्य है और अब आप लोग, you guys can go and do your work. So how do you focus? Few things that you should focus on. एक तो our host for this morning mentioned this already. बहुत सारी exciting and eventful चीजें इस campus में होती रहती हैं. The hallmark of a campus, of an exciting campus is कि you have to choose every day कि आज मैं क्या करूँ या क्या नहीं करूँ. You should have at least 10, 15, 20 options. You know, that is the hallmark की exciting campus. स्कूल में तो बहुत कम choices होती थी ना, कैलकुलस पढ़नी है तो पढ़नी है. There was no substitute. So यहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं है. You have many choices and we have worked very hard to create choices because that's what makes joyful learning. So you want to be inquisitive, explore and follow your passion. Mix and match things. Don't commit to a major quickly. And even if you commit to a major, explore other minors. The walls between schools are low. Try taking a class with climate change people. Try taking a class with architecture majors. Definitely take one class in the visual arts and so on and so forth. We have a wide variety, a bouquet of courses. And the idea is explore everything, right? You guys are lucky that you have these many choices. Get out of the comfort zone. और इसको आजकल ये भी कहते हैं push the envelope. आप सबके कुछ strong points हैं. For example, someone is fantastic at sketching and drawing. वो तो वैसे ही strong है. You know, deploy that tool when you need to, right? That's easy, that you know already. But जो चीज़ नहीं आती है, college is the place to learn it. Wherever you are uncomfortable. If you don't like public speaking, try public speaking, definitely. I was shy of speaking publicly. I never imagined I would climb onto the stage and address 550 young minds eager for knowledge. जब मैं आपकी जगह था, पता नहीं यार ये लोग कैसे बात कर लेते हैं, right? But that's something. These are all acquired skills. Each one of us can learn, and you know we have to work at it. I like you guys worked at your schooling to graduate and arrive here. ये एक थोड़ा सा important है, design X approach. This is something Anant has worked very hard to master. We try to provide a broad foundation. हम आपको अलग-अलग तरीके के courses, including history and economics and entrepreneurship, language, communication, बहुत सारी चीजें, broad foundation. The second is community learning. Remember, हम अपने देशवासियों के लिए design कर रहे हैं, and by extension for rest of the world, because we constitute the majority of populations in the world. So हम आपको, अमिताभ जी आपको ले जाएंगे गांव में, कस्बों में, छोटे शहरों में, बड़े शहरों में, ताकि हम communities, place-based communities, जो लोग अपने हाथ से काम करते हैं, उनके साथ ये चीज सीख सकें. Then the cutting edge tech. India has mastered this. Many of your friends and colleagues from schools have gone on to pursue tech careers, software, hardware. So all of that, the campus strives hard to provide access. वो सीखना important है और relatively आसान है for your generation. Rich crafts is something that we pay a lot of attention to. What this जो इंडिया का craft based traditions हैं, they distinguish us from many other countries in the world, and that's a huge register. So if I was you, my advice would be एक तरफ craft सीखें और एक तरफ cutting edge tech सीखें, communities के साथ रह के. ये जो marriage है, you know, learning our hand based crafts and combining it with cutting edge technology is a very powerful tool in your arsenal. You know, that founding sets you apart from many schools. And then focus upon sustainability. है ना, ये infused है इस campus में, and sustainability से तात्पर्य ये है कि हम ज़्यादा resources consume नहीं करें. You know, 1.5 billion of us need a lot of water, energy, all kinds of resources, and we want to do it in the minimum. That's something that comes historically to our country. थोड़े में गुजारा होता है, right? I mean, so we try to use that idea very strongly in our curriculum. The last one is equally important and perhaps even more important. You should learn to make friends. You know, designers क्या एक थोड़ा सा वो अपने काम में तल्लीन हो जाते हैं. But making friends is important. And mastering teamwork. Modern workplace में काम teams में होता है. And teams are interdisciplinary. इसका तात्पर्य क्या है? एक दो MBA वाले होंगे, एक दो इंजीनियर होंगे, एक दो डिजाइनर होंगे, एक दो कंप्यूटर वाले होंगे. You know, ये लोग साथ में मिलके काम कर रहे हैं. So you have to learn. Working by yourself is relatively easy. You know, painting is a great example. Most painters like to lock themselves in a room and paint. वो बोले टीम में पेंटिंग करनी है, so people get uncomfortable. बोले यार ये टीम शीम में कैसे म्यूरल बनेगा, पेंटिंग होगी. बट modern workplace is about teamwork. So you want to learn this craft while you are at school. How do you work with people who are not like you, right? And that's the purpose of diversity and inclusion. शब्दों का इस्तेमाल आसान होता है, पर उनको implement करना and to learn that is, you know, is a task you want to set yourself up against. कि how do I work in a team where the people drawn from different parts of this country who have different persuasive skills and who are trained differently. If you crack that code, I don't like the word crack, इस देश में थोड़ा crack exam ज़्यादा करते हैं, but nonetheless here I'll use it. So if you figure that out, that is a very strong tool. And final, ये हम लोगों की आपसे, we have only one ask for you, you know, the faculty and staff, and I can make this plea on behalf of the entire Anant community. हम सिर्फ आपसे एक चीज की अपेक्षा रखते हैं, and that's what has driven our board to found such a fantastic place, is please go and change the world. Because if you don't change the world, then the chances of, you know, that we would feel disheartened and all this work that my colleagues put in every day in making sure that you succeed would at some level go into the vain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are truly grateful for your presence. Thank you so much for setting a meaningful tone as we begin this new academic journey. I would now like to invite Professor Quiza Samani to take over this session. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to meet you all. I will see all of you around the campus. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I am Quiza, an adjunct assistant professor with the Foundation Studies. And before we move further with the orientation, I'm sure you all must have had this question, or you would have wondered that how does your academic journey, this 4 years, look like? I mean, there is going to be fun, but academics are a big part of it. So to just answer that, I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Gauri Bharat, Professor and Dean School of Architecture, in charge Dean Academic Affairs. She has years of academic leadership, and she is going to guide you through how your journey will actually look like from where you're sitting right now to the time where you'll graduate. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Gauri Bharat.
Should I change from here? No? Okay. Thank you very much, and good morning to all the students sitting here. It's really delightful to be able to welcome you finally after the rains, and so we're really happy that all of you are here. So after Professor Vidyarthi's wonderful orientation to the promise that the university holds, I'll talk briefly before I leave you on with further excitement and inspiration. I'll talk a little bit about some of the structures and processes that will frame your academic journey over the next 4 years. And before I get to that, a small point about housekeeping. So there is a process called document verification that some of you have completed, but some of you are yet to finish. So can I get a quick show of hands for how many people are yet to complete their document verification? Fabulous. Now those of you who've raised your hands, if you can please take a photograph of that QR code. We'll be doing a round of document verification tomorrow for, there's a 1.5 hour window, and then for everybody else, we'll be doing this on Saturday. It's a crucial process. Unless your documents are verified, your admission remains provisional, which means you're not fully admitted into the university. So may I urge you to please finish this on Saturday. If you have any doubts, please meet any of the volunteers and we'll help you through with the process. but I can't stress this enough. Please make sure that you have done this. Only once this is completed and all your documents are verified, are you a registered student ready to embark on all the exciting things that Professor Vidyarthi just talked about. So if you've taken a photograph, I'll give you another few seconds. Please take a photograph of this. This QR code will allow you to sign up for slots to complete your document verification. I promise you the rest of academic affairs is more fun than this, but this is an important first step and this needs to be done. So now coming to, there's a lot of excitement. There is a very exciting set of courses, lots of opportunities, but behind all of that obviously is a structure. We have to get you in 4 years' time or how much ever time you take. You will acquire qualifications, you will acquire skills, you will do classes, and the Academic Affairs Office enables and helps programs with some of these systems that allow us to function as a university. So for the most part, you are unlikely to come to us directly, but otherwise, you know, we are available, room 124, AB1, the Academic Affairs team is there. So drop by anytime. But the most important thing that we want to give you an outline of is what is this academic journey like? Okay, so that's the Office of Academic Affairs. That's our email ID, fairly straightforward. We have a phone number. Like I said, we support with a lot of the background processes using which a lot of the programs run. That's the team. There's more people on the way. Gauri, that's me. Dr. Falguni Patel, she's Associate Dean. And our wonderful team, Hesha, Vishwa, and Jill. You are likely to be reaching out to them at various points in time. Can raise your hands. Hesha, Jill, and Vishwa. So these guys are your go-to for all sorts of things. They are very helpful, incredibly accessible, available. So please reach out to them with requests for whatever you need. Now, coming to the most important part of what you will be doing. School education, as Professor Vidyarthi mentioned, tends to be fairly scripted. Like, you know, if you're, some of you who have done, I don't know, math or something, you have to study algebra, the teacher will teach you and you get tested. One of the key departures with design education is that, and this is, you might hear, that there are no right answers. Right? If there are no right answers, it also means there are no wrong answers. But then how are you supposed to know whether you're doing something right or not? A major part of how design is taught, as Professor Vidyarthi also mentioned, is learning through projects. So you learn by doing. There are no right answers. There are actions and there are consequences. And we evaluate that in order to design anything. At the end of the day, design is about transforming the future as we know it. Since we don't know the future, you're always thinking about how do we make a reasonable assessment about what we are doing. To train people to think with that kind of open-endedness, a big part of what you'll be doing are called design studios, right? Now this is where you'll be given a problem and you will be working under the guidance of faculty to explore possibilities. In order to explore these possibilities, you need to have a sense of, okay, what do we already know about this situation? Which is where theory classes come in. So in many instances, you will have theory classes. Theory classes will be most familiar to you in terms of format. That's how a lot of school work happens. So, you know, if any of you have studied science, you're taught about the classification of the animal kingdom. You're not expected to discover that yourself. Theory classes do that. They familiarize you with the existing body of knowledge in your discipline and for a given program. And then the third part, which is the third kind of course that you will do, these are called workshops, where you need to learn to work with certain materials, you need to learn certain tools, techniques, skills. So all your courses across the 4 years will be divided into one of these three kinds. You will have studios, which is project-based learning. You will have theory subjects where you become familiar with whatever is your area of work. And you'll be doing workshops where you will be acquiring certain skills. In most cases, your courses will be a combination of these. So it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're learning communication design, whether you're learning interaction design, there will be a component of each of these. But across the board, the general characteristic of design education is that it is open-ended. You learn by trying things out, weighing the options, and then you try again. And that is the key departure that you should anticipate, that you will very rarely be told, this is a sum, solve it, and you get an answer. You will be told, try things out, see how it works. And I remember being an architecture student nearly 30 years ago, and it's very disorienting to start with, because you never know whether you're doing something entirely right. But that is where comes this whole question of learning to figure out how things work by doing them. Try 10 options and you figure it out. We have here, the group of you are School of Design students and visual art students. And your academic journey comprises of a series of learning stages and particular kinds of cross-learning opportunities. Generally, your program is divided into a common first-year foundation, which is, all of you will be embarking on that. We will have the architecture students also joining in about 20 days' time. So we have a common foundation program, which is run across all these batches. After you finish that foundation program is when you step into the world of your major. So you will have an orientation and you will be able to choose which kind of a major you would like to do. The major operates across second year and third year, and then in fourth year you start preparing to enter the professional world. For students who are in visual arts, you have 3 specializations. You have painting, sculpture, and integrated media. Now, apart from the foundation and the majors, there are certain opportunities for learning across the university. We have minors. Minors are one of the unique points of an education at Anant. So you could be doing communication design, you could be doing interaction design, but you could have a real interest in fashion, for instance. So you are actually in a position to take up a minor on fashion. Minors run across 4 semesters, so it's not just like a introduction, but it's a sustained 4-semester brief, but it's a sustained engagement. So by the time you graduate, you are in a position to say that, yes, I specialized in this, but I also know enough about something else. So the minors are a great opportunity for cross-learning. Having said that, at some point you might sign up for a minor and you might feel, oh, not for me, in which case you can convert it into electives and you can continue to do a range of courses from across the offerings, across the university. So along with minors, you will all be undertaking electives. Electives are a very interesting set of entities. Again, as part of your high school education, very rarely would you have had the chance to try something out. Electives are that chance. You can try something out. You're interested in learning French, or you're interested in learning some tool. You're interested in understanding Ahmedabad society. You're interested in writing. Electives are really that opportunity to try something out without the pressure of mastering it. And that is really the beauty of electives. So please do use these electives as an opportunity to try stuff out. And I say this partly from my memory of school as well, of college as well, that at that time you're like, kaun itni mehnat karega? But really, these 4 years go by very quickly. In 4 years' time, we'll be talking about your convocation. And usually in hindsight, most people cherish college as a time when you could learn and make mistakes. When you're in college, for the most part, you haven't slept enough and various things like that. And so you don't feel like putting in the same kind of effort. But some of us are telling you from the benefit of hindsight, please make full use of it. Once you're in practice, opportunities to learn shrink so fast that then you have to make extraordinary effort. Minors, electives, related study programs, we are expanding our course offerings. We had a group of students who went to Japan in May. We had a group of students who went to Singapore. We are taking students, organizing trips to various places. And all of these courses are open to students across the university, provided it doesn't clash with any of your other commitments. Please use the opportunity whenever it comes up, Opportunities to travel as a tourist, easy. Opportunities to dive deep into a particular context and learn under the mentorship of a faculty member is a far rarer opportunity. RSPs are precious for that reason. It's fabulous fun. You get to travel with a bunch of young people, but the learning is unparalleled. So please do take every opportunity. We are offering RSPs. RSP stands for Related Study Program. We are offering these programs every winter and summer. So please do use the opportunity. Otherwise, you'll be sitting and binge watching on Netflix in any case. So it's much nicer to actually go to a community and learn something, design something. It's a chance to go out into the world and try things out. And finally, we have this thing called a collaborative studio. It's a testing ground for how designers work with each other. The collaborative studio across the School of Design is a multidisciplinary opportunity where students from different disciplines come together and work on a project together. It is the closest replication of a real-life situation that you get before you have any of the responsibilities of a real-life situation. So you can do bizarre things, you can, figure out, make all the mistakes you want. The collaborative studio is the space to learn about how designers work, how to work in a collaborative environment. I mean, the name already says this. As Professor Vidyarthi mentioned, I'll underscore that design is not a solitary endeavor at all. You will, through your life, have to work with multiple people, irrespective of the level at which you're working. This is your opportunity to try this out, break boundaries, work with other people. So please use these cross-learning opportunities as much as you can. So as you can see, the structure of the program, it starts off, we recognize that a design education, irrespective of whether you're doing design or architecture or whatever, requires a certain reorientation, which is where the foundation comes in. All of you are going to become familiar with the open-endedness of design education, visualization, etc. Then you will have your minors, and then you will have all your cross-learning opportunities. Please make full use of all of these, and then you come out as somebody with deep expertise, but also with an understanding of how other disciplines function and how the world of design functions. And now, again, a little bit of housekeeping. Just keep an eye out on this. We will be sharing details. People often ignore this, and then when you get hit by one of these because you didn't follow something, and then, we'll have Hesha, Jill, and Vishwa will be dealing with people asking us for exceptions. You don't have to know everything. Keep half a year open and just register what I'm saying. Attendance. On paper, what we write is the university requires a minimum of 80% attendance. Okay? We require a minimum of 80%. We expect 100%. Okay? Please note that. We require 80%, we expect 100%. The 80%, the 20% window is for you fall sick, you miss the bus, you oversleep one day. I actually had a student once who told me that a cow ate up his sheets while he was cycling to university. And I'm sure you will have, you spilled coffee on your drawings, your laptop collapsed, stuff will happen. Keep your 20% for that, okay? You came here to learn. Why bother not showing up for class? I mean, why do something that's counterintuitive, right? Show up for class, plan to show up for every class, leave the 20% for your eventualities, right? We've also had situations where students are like, "Arey, baki log to class mein nahi aa rahe hain." Please act in your own best interest, okay? Please do not use other students as an indicator of what you need to do. Okay? For every student who doesn't turn up for class, don't use them as inspiration. Use the ones who turn up to class as inspiration. Okay? So please, this is very important because this is one of the things, especially as many of you are likely to be in a college environment for the first time. And this is the first time that a teacher is not going to be after you. Probably a parent is not going to be after you, getting you to come to class. You need to take responsibility. Show up. Okay? Bare minimum requirement for this is show up. We have a grading structure, okay? And I'd like to add just one thing. I mean, these are details you will eventually find out. Sometimes, and I know this as an educator, but also as somebody who studied, there are times when you're going through a rough patch. Okay? There will be moments when you will find that you're not able to put in your best effort. Okay? We all have bad days. We all have good days. What I'd like to remind you that on some bad days, there's two things that you can do. One, show up in class, right? Second, get yourself to do a bare minimum amount of work. Of course, and I don't mean this if you're sick, if you've got fever and stuff, stay at home, look after yourselves. But आज काम नहीं हो रहा है, तो इसीलिए मुझे Instagram पे बैठे रहना या Snapchat पे बैठे रहना, please वो मत करिए. We are finding a very large number of students who are not able to pull themselves out of that. And then you are surprised if you end up with a C+. Believe me, a C+ is better than a fail. A C+ means that you managed and you got through. Okay? Not everybody is going to get an A, not everybody can get an A. I mean, all of you are not the same. At the same time, the grades are not a judgment on your ability. There are people who will get C's who will become really good designers. This is a measure of performance at a particular moment in time. It is important to bear that in mind, but it is also an indication of whether you are adequately prepared at a particular level. So I don't, at a particular course. So I don't mean to say that it's okay to get a C. I mean, in some circumstances, of course it is. Don't make marks the center of your universe. At the same time, please don't ignore it. Okay? There are moments when you will feel overwhelmed. It will be enough to get through the course with a C. Moments when you're doing great, push yourself to get an A. Some courses you might do better. Some of you are theory people like me. I'm an architect, eventually did a PhD. I'm a theory person. I can do any number of theory classes. Workshops, a bit of a struggle. You all have different abilities. Your performance will vary. The grade rubric reflects that. It's not a hierarchy. It's not a judgment of ability. Okay? Please, please, please do bear that in mind. We recognize that our student bodies are diverse. Okay? So, bare minimum, show up. If you're struggling with something, ask for help. And ask your tutors or TAs if you feel you need additional support. In many courses, we will have something called a continuous evaluation. Okay? Which means how you work every day or every few days will be tested. Again, different from high school. High school, you can sleep through class, maybe, I don't know, depending on the kind of school you went to. As long as you do in the exam, it's okay. Design school is not like that. Sometimes the way in which you engage class after class matters. Okay? So please be aware that it's not okay to simply, sometimes you may need to sleep in class, in which case just tell your teachers, listen, I've had a rough night, I need to sleep. Okay? But bear in mind that there are different kinds of evaluation. Submitting work and expecting a good grade may not be enough. Quality matters. Okay? If in doubt, ask your teachers, ask your TAs. Right? And this is, again, some of the details that you will be assessed in various ways. You will be told how you are being assessed. And we will also be sharing this with all of you so that you have a sense. A lot of this is background. The important thing is just to remain engaged, okay? Very important point. And it has become like I've done these orientations here and in my earlier job for about 10 years now. And it's really interesting. When I first did this in 2014, 2015, AI was not on the horizon, okay? At that time, we were warning people to not copy from Wikipedia. We've come a long way now. If you are asked to do an essay, it is entirely possible for you to ask ChatGPT to give you an essay in 0.007 seconds, okay? The challenge in front of all of you and learners of your generation is to resist temptation, okay? While plagiarism, copying will give you the results, ultimately you are hampering your learning, okay? But it's difficult. You know, it's like your phone is there and you can just quickly chat GPT an answer. 3 guidelines, broadly, informally. I say this as an educator. You know, my children are about your age. Same advice to them going to university. Don't use ChatGPT as a substitute for your work, okay? Use it for editorial help. You have difficulty writing, write something, put it through AI and say, listen, can you correct the language for me? Use it for editorial support, not for output substitute. And your final benchmark is whatever output you produce, whatever support you have used, your final test is, could you have done similar work without support? If the answer is no, it means you are depending too much on AI. Okay? Can you defend your work without support from AI? That's your answer. Okay? And this is a journey. We will create all the policies, we can create all the punitive action. Some of you will still get away with this. My only request to you is don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Okay? Don't compromise your learning journey. That's what matters here. At the end of the day, you know how you're getting your work done. Whether or not we catch it is literally immaterial. We are facilitators in your learning journey. You mess up, the consequences are yours to bear. Okay? Allow us to help you. Ask for help, ask for structured help, and we will provide that. Please avoid taking shortcuts because it doesn't help you in the long run. So plagiarism, some of you may know. If you don't know, we will help when you copy and you are not supposed to copy. And you will know that. It's like when you behave badly, you know that you've behaved badly, irrespective of whether you can justify it for yourself, but it is what it is. When you copy without reference, when you copy it when you're not supposed to, that's plagiarism. Okay? It's fairly straightforward at one level, but there are lots of gray areas. If you are not clear, please reach out and ask your faculty members. Finally, as academic affairs, as program leads, we will create the structure, we will create the frameworks, we will create various things that will enable your journey. Okay? We will structure your journey, but we cannot define it, and we should not define it. What will define the quality of your academic journey is your engagement. Okay? And that requires you to take ownership. You have to say that I am committed to learning well. I am committed to making the most out of every opportunity that I get. Okay? Reach out to your professors. Not at 2 a.m. preferably. Well, actually, don't be awake at 2 a.m. if you can help it. Figure out what works best for you. Okay? Our general sense is students don't work during class hours and they prefer to work late. Every science, every Instagram reel will tell you that people who stay up late underperform. It's not rocket science. I mean, all of this you can literally just Google. Find a schedule that works best for you. Look after your health, move enough, drink enough water, sleep enough, and then put a study routine within that. Work without a device that has the internet. Okay? I say this every time, but we have seen students working with a Netflix series playing. Not a good idea. No matter what you tell yourself, not a good idea. Okay? Ask your professors for feedback in case you haven't got it. You will usually receive a lot of feedback. Make notes. Okay? Understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It will require you to consciously engage with your work and the process of learning. Submit your work on time. Okay? I don't know how to stress this, but submit your work on time. It's incredibly complicated why we see uneven submissions, and you will find that. But really, work backwards. If a submission is on Monday, don't start working on Sunday night. Don't spend Saturday binge watching something, or, and these are all things that I know teenagers do, so this is coming from that. Finally, take responsibility for procuring materials. If you are supposed to submit a print Monday morning, 9 o'clock, don't go looking for a print shop Sunday evening, okay? You will not find it. So just plan backwards, right? And just like you would plan, if you're turning up to catch a flight, you will have your Aadhaar card with you, you will do Digiyatra. This is basics. Plan your academic work with the same care that you would plan a holiday, you would plan a party, or plan whatever other fun stuff that you do. Okay? So what we are requesting is organize yourself. It's a lot of work. Okay, design school is not easy. Any open-ended education is not easy. Because open-ended education means that we have to train you to think on your feet. If we were saying we want to train these people to become draftspeople, or we want these people to become mechanics, fixed body of work, we have to teach you how to do 10 things. We teach you, done. But we are teaching you to engage with a world that's changing, which means we need to be able to put you in unfamiliar circumstances to say that, okay, if this is a situation, can you think on your feet, right? That requires us to constantly work with you. It requires you to constantly work with us. Basics of classroom etiquette. Design schools are famously informal, okay? Famously informal. Many people are on first name basis. Keep the informality. It is what enriches us. But remember, this is a professional environment, okay? You will have to behave yourselves. In a professional environment, we don't take social relations for granted, okay? So please do behave yourselves. Please extend every courtesy and expect courtesy extended back to you. So don't tolerate bad behavior either, okay? But this is a professional environment and you should be behaving with each other and expect behavior that is courteous and that does not impact your capacity to work. There is something called an academia portal. That's the digital interface through which many of our activities will happen. You'll have a separate session on that which will introduce you to how this digital interface operates. And then there are a number of academic resources here that are available for your use. We have the Learning Commons. It's literally on that side. That's our library. It also has a number of spaces for hot desking. You can work there. It is tempting to Google and find something online. Those of you who don't read, there is terrific delight in opening a book. It slows everything down. It gives you a nice meditative space. As you can see, I enjoy reading. But try it if you haven't. It's really worth the experience. Think of it as this exotic experience, okay? Go to the library, pick up a book, and you'll find that the world opens up to you in a very different way. We have computer labs back here, also in the commons. Again, I don't have to introduce computers. You guys are digital natives. We have something called a makerspace, which is one of the delights of our campus, okay? Please go there, try tinkering, work with machines, work with wood, work with paper, work with metal. It's a chance to work with your hands and try things out. Again, bit on classroom culture, give feedback respectfully, ask for feedback, and then act on it. Keep notes for yourself. I would suggest keep a diary, day one. Tell yourself, all of you write down in that diary today where you see yourselves in 4 years' time. And look back on that in 4 years' time to see, okay, did you get there or did you get beyond? Yeah? And a lot of that has to do with acknowledging, taking feedback, figuring out what every day has been like. Finally, in your years here, you will see the campus becoming bigger. We have a wonderful campus. We have a lot of facilities. And a lot is there for you to make most of this journey. Now it is up to you to engage meaningfully so that you can show up for yourself and make most of this journey just the way we want you to do. So I'll finish. Again, academic affairs, the program teams, we will create the opportunities, but we would really invite you to engage as much with it and do more than what we can expect you to. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Gauri, for introducing our students to the Office of Academic Affairs. and also for outlining their academic structure for the upcoming 4 years. With this, and before we begin, I'd like to thank all our leads for taking out their time and joining us today for the orientation program. With this, we are concluding the formal session, and now we would like to switch gears and introduce our new cohort to, I think, what they are all waiting for is how their first year here is going to be at Anant. And so it's going to be a little bit informal, and so let's have fun. Thank you. All the students who are enrolled in BVA can please proceed to Learning Commons for their orientation program. BDES students, please be seated here. And we also have a lot of seats prime seats, actually, vacant prime seats. So I would like people to come front. The formal session is done. It's going to be very informal, and we're going to have fun. Oh.
लाइट बढ़ा दो यार।
अरे किसी को आगे नहीं आना, ऑक्शन करनी पड़ेगी ये सीट्स। कम ऑन। नहीं सुनाई दे रहा, इसलिए रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहे।
मतलब बैक बेंचर अभी तक जो हुआ है उसके लिए ठीक है, अभी तो सामने आ जाओ, सब फन तो सामने ही है। देखो क्या मस्त आ गया, यहाँ बैठ गया, बहुत बढ़िया। आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ।
There are lots of seats vacant this side too.
हेलो हेलो हेलो। सो बेसिकली क्या है कि मेरे को जब भी कोई बोलते हैं ना गाना गाना है तो मुझे मजा आ जाता है। आता नहीं है गाना गाना, ठीक है। घर में तेरी नहीं लाइट चलेगा, करंट चला गया होगा, करंट। एक करंट एक्चुअली करंट गया है क्या?
हेलो नहीं चल रहा।
सो एक्चुअली मेरे घर में भी मैं गाना गाता हूँ ना तो सब चले जाते हैं बाहर। मेरा पेट, कैट, वाइफ, बेटा, तो जैसे ही मौका मिलता है ना गाना गाने के लिए, तो अभी हम लोग मोहम्मद रफ़ी का गाना गाएंगे। नहीं गाएंगे, पागल हो गया। हम लोग डिज़ाइनर है तो एक डिज़ाइनर वाला गाना गाते हैं और फाउंडेशन के लिए है। सो द इशू इज़ कि हम लोगों को ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं मिला था।
नहीं सीधे बताओ ना, नहीं आता है तो क्या
तो इसलिए रईस को भी लेके आया। ये कश्मीर से हैं, है ना, और ये अच्छा गाना नहीं गाते मेरे जैसे, थोड़ा बहुत गा लेते हैं. सो ये गाना आप लोगों के लिए हम लोगों ने लिखा है. बहुत ताज़ा है. मतलब प्रैक्टिस ज़्यादा नहीं है तो गड़बड़ हो सकती है. बट आप लोगों को भी गाना है
देखो
साथ में. ओके.
गड़बड़ हो सकती नहीं, गड़बड़ होगी और बेयर विद अस.
सो एकदम ताज़ा, एकदम ताज़ा. लाल बनाया,
लाल बनाया पीला निकला, रंगों का क्या कहना. हे लाल बनाया पीला निकला, रंगों का क्या कहना. ब्रश धोने को पानी मांगा, मिली कॉफी.
क्या कहना.
लाल बनाया पीला निकला, रंगों का क्या कहना. हे लाल बनाया पीला निकला, रंगों का क्या कहना. ब्रश धोने को पानी मांगा, मिली कॉफी.
क्या कहना.
अरे वाह, टाइगर अभी जिंदा है. शीट हमारी, हे शीट हमारी बड़ी सुहानी, उस पर
चाय.
अरे सर,
हमारी
शीट हमारी बड़ी सुहानी, उस पर गिर गई चाय. सर ने पूछा कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, बोले
एक्सप्रेशन है भाई.
अरे लेकिन
बट टेंशन नहीं लेने का ना.
हाँ,
चाय की गई तो
नहीं लेने का.
क्यों.
क्योंकि हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत.
वाले हैं. गाओ रे.
हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत वाले हैं. अरे सुनो, कटिंग पेस्टिंग कलर करके
हाथ हमारे रंगे हैं.
कटिंग पेस्टिंग कलर करके हाथ हमारे रंगे हैं. क्यों. अरे हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, थोड़े से मत
वाले हैं. कट्टर मेरा कहाँ गया.
अरे मेरा स्केल कहाँ गया.
कटर मेरा कहाँ गया.
अरे मेरा स्केल कहाँ गया भाई.
मेरा ब्रश जो ले गया. मेरा ब्रश जो ले गया,
वो अब तक लापता है. मगर क्या. अरे प्रिंटर बोला.
प्रिंटर बोला. प्रिंटर बोला. पेपर जैम.
अरे लैपटॉप बोला.
बाय.
सबमिशन से पहले फाइल भी बोली.
गुड बाय.
अरे आ गए ना टेंशन में फिर से.
अब क्या करें.
अरे लेकिन हम क्या है,
टेंशन
नहीं लेने का भाई.
क्योंकि क्योंकि
अरे हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, मेहनत करने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, मेहनत करने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, मेहनत करने वाले हैं.
सबको गाना है.
हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, मेहनत करने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, मेहनत
करने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन.
जोर से. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. एक चीज का ध्यान. नींद भले ही कम मिलेगी.
ओहो.
है ना. नींद भले ही कम मिलेगी, सपने बड़े निराले हैं.
हम फाउंडेशन.
हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं.
हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं,
डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. हम फाउंडेशन वाले हैं, डिजाइनर बनने वाले हैं. अरे ये देखो अभी टाइगर जो जिंदाबाद है. ये निसार बात है.
हेलो. हेलो.
That mic? Oh, same mic? So that was Professor Lalon, Professor Rais Rashid, and Professor Nisar was the tiger. Great
Hello.
day ki applause there. That's more like it. Thank you. That was overnight. आप सोए कि नहीं सोए?
थोड़ा सा रात को 12 बजे के बाद ही सो पाया. नींद कम मिलेगी, है ना?
I want to now call on stage the head of foundation studies.
एक मिनट. ऐसे अगर नहीं बुलाते हम लोग, ठीक है? हम लोग डिजाइनर है, कम्युनिकेट करते हैं एक दूसरे के साथ. तो देखते हैं आप लोग कम्युनिकेट कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं. कि हमारा जो हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट है, मतलब फाउंडेशन के, उनका दम से रात खेलते, ठीक है? उनका नाम जो है ओके.
इसका भी प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया लालन. That was amazing. That was amazing.
वाओ, समझ गए आप लोग.
So I'll do a formal introduction anyway. Professor Amitabh Pandey, क्योंकि मैं prepare करके लाई हूँ यार, है ना? So I'll use it. Professor Amitabh Pandey is the head of foundation studies. उनका area of expertise है behavioral change. He has worked in the last 25 years in behavioral change in communication design. Before he came to Anant, he was with UNICEF. And he has a master's in communication design from NID Ahmedabad. Beyond ये सब जो बहुत formal part है, he is very well known for story reading. It's a beautiful book he reads. It's called Toto Chan, and I hope that you all get to hear him. Can I please call on stage Professor?
नहीं.
ये भी नहीं करना है. अच्छा.
हम लोग डिजाइनर थोड़ा स्टाइल से अलग तरीके से करते हैं. जब कोई किसी का एंट्री होता है तो म्यूजिक होता है ना, तो अभी तो म्यूजिक बजा नहीं सकते, तो हमको करना है. तो यहाँ से जो लोग हैं ना, उसको करना है हु. करो हु. सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है? जोर से हु. ये हु जैसे हो जाएगा ना, ठीक है? यहां तक के सब करके हा. अभी सिंक्रोनाइज करते हैं, ठीक है? हु हा, ठीक है? सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है? समझ में आ गया? और ये बीच का जो लोग हैं जो कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना, उनको बोलना है अमिताभ 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 अमिताभ. ठीक है? तो अभी ये स्टीरियो का इधर और इधर बंद है, बीच वाला जो है ना, एक बार करके बताओ कैसे करोगे? अमिताभ अमिताभ करते जाओ. एक मिनट फिर से. रेडी? 1 2 3 स्टार्ट. चलेगा? सुनाई नहीं दे रहा? थोड़ा जोर से. ठीक है? अभी फिर पूरा कंपोज करते, ठीक है?
हाँ जी. नहीं चाहिए. मुझे यही चाहिए था. टाइम क्या हो रहा है? Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome. So Gauri has made my job very easy because most of the thing which I was preparing to tell you, Gauri has already told. तो अभी थोड़ा बातचीत करते हैं. कैसा होने वाला है, हम क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं, क्या सीखने वाले हैं, क्या क्या करने वाले हैं, ये सेमेस्टर कैसा होगा, about everything which you are going to do this semester in foundation. और उसके पहले there are 3-4 things which I am going to share with you. तो आप बताओ कि हम कहाँ से शुरू करें. एक चीज़ था, what I thought, I had been given a list. मुझे एक लिस्ट मिला था कि आप उनको बताओ कि फाउंडेशन के रूल्स क्या हैं, स्टूडेंट्स के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस कैसे होते हैं. तो मैंने सोचा, उस पेपर को लिया मैंने और उसको फोल्ड किया और रख दिया और सोचा कि मेरे स्टूडेंट्स अपना रूल खुद बनाएंगे. तो हम अभी रूल भी बनाने वाले हैं सब साथ में मिलके. सो दैट इज़ वन विच विल टेक अराउंड 10 minutes. And there are courses which we will be introducing जो आपको इस सेमेस्टर में हम सब मिलके करने वाले हैं. और एक एक्साइटिंग प्रोग्राम है जिसके बारे में which is about community immersion, जिसके बारे में डिटेल्ड थोड़ा एक स्लाइड है. So there are 3 things which we are going to do. कौन सा पहले करें वो आप बताओ, उससे शुरू करते हैं. Which one you want to do first? So there are courses, there are rules and there is कम्युनिटी इमर्जन प्रोग्राम. क्या किससे शुरू करें? कम्युनिटी इमर्जन से शुरू करें. चलो उसी से शुरू करते हैं. तो स्लाइड को पीछे कर लेना. सो कम्युनिटी इमर्जन इज वन ऑफ द कोर्सेज ऑफर्ड इन फाउंडेशन फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट. एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी टू टेल यू दैट दिस इज फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, अनलाइक अदर ईयर्स, this time we are offering this course to you, and we have around, how many, Shilang, are you there? 59 now options? 50, more than 50 options for all of you in India, and not just in India, but also in neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, or the list is of 59 plus countries. So community immersion is one program where the students in groups of around 15 to 25, they go to the villages, they live there for 10 days along with the villagers and learn from them. So we go as a learner. हम डिज़ाइनर का कैप पहन के नहीं जाते, हम कोई इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी का कैप पहन के नहीं जाते, हम बिल्कुल शुद्ध रूप से टीचर एज वेल एज स्टूडेंट्स, वी गो एज अ लर्नर एंड लर्न फ्रॉम देम. सो दिस इज अ 10 days module in field, otherwise it's a 16 days, the entire duration of the course is of 16 days. So as you suggested, let's start looking at the places where we are going to go today. कुछ announcements हैं उसके पहले. So we are showing these slides today because हम चाहते हैं आप देखो, उसके बाद my team will email you this presentation as well as the list of all the places and you need to respond to us. आपको फिर बताना पड़ेगा कि आपका फर्स्ट चॉइस, सेकंड चॉइस से लेके आपको 4 choices करने के मिलेगा. टॉक टू योर पेरेंट्स बिकॉज देर आर सम फाइनेंशियल इम्प्लीकेशंस टू. आपको ट्रैवल कॉस्ट देना होता है, तो उसके बारे में बात करके आप 28th is the last date. Yes, Silang? 28th of this month is the last date to register. And then 24th is the last date. चलो तो देखते हैं. So this time, as you see, all the places in India आप जो देख रहे हो, and there are Nepal, Bhutan and Sri Lanka too, जहाँ पे आप जा सकते हो. So there's an opportunity. We have already done the recce and we know the places. We have the contact person there in all the places which are marked in blue and yellow on this map. So now the list has already grown. It's 62 different rural communities immersion, 16 states across India, 59 villages all over India, 21 in Gujarat, 11 in Rajasthan, 3 international neighboring countries. Next. Can we have the... I hope मैं किसी को vision नहीं ये कर रहा हूँ. So, I'll take you with these slides फटाफट, क्योंकि anyway you are going to get these ones on your mail. तो एक जगह है जो कि इंडिया भूटान के बॉर्डर पे है, which is called Baksa Tiger Reserve. So there's one community immersion plan there. So 25 of you can go there, live with this community with a teacher. Next. Jagatpur is in Uttarakhand. There are 3 villages near Dehradun. Basically, it's outskirts of Dehradun where you can plan your trip. Jagatpur, Birsani and Koti in Uttarakhand, near Dehradun. You have Sendra Bakura in West Bengal. Bakura, you must be knowing about this place, known for the terracotta work. तो वहाँ आप जाके आप इस community immersion का part बन सकते हो. Next. And if you see, we also have written the expenses of the trip, which includes travel and your stay. तो वो आपको ऐसे भी डिटेल में मिलने वाला है. Otherwise, if you can see, left hand side, bottom में, there's fees, the trip expense, and which is up to. It is not exactly up to that much. Next. So you have one more community called Srikanta in West Bengal. Next. Sundarbans in West Bengal. Next. Assam में लोहारघाट forest. Sikkim में Dongzu. Next. Jammu and Kashmir. Next. Again in Jammu and Kashmir, Badgam. So you have Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. In Madhya Pradesh, we have a community which does bark printing. So one place is there also. Next, Raghurajpur in Orissa. Ektal in Chhattisgarh. Sarguja in Chhattisgarh. Bastar in Chhattisgarh. Singhbhumi in Jharkhand. Kalburgi in Karnataka, Hampi in Karnataka, Chamba in Himachal Pradesh, Kanthalur in Kerala, Gandhinagar. So what we have done, that there are trips, and if you must have noticed, there are some cost involved. तो ये भी हो सकता है कि किसी को ट्रैवल बहुत ज़्यादा सूट नहीं करता हो फॉर हेल्थ रीज़न, या फिर पेरेंट्स से बात हुआ, लगता है कि नहीं अभी दिस इज़ नॉट द टाइम टू स्पेंड टू मच ऑन अ ट्रिप. सो वी हैव मेनी ऑप्शंस. तो ऐसे भी हैं जो बिल्कुल अहमदाबाद के नज़दीक हैं, जहाँ पे इट्स अ डे ट्रैवल वेयर यू कम बैक बिकॉज ऑफ हेल्थ रीजन. इफ़ यू डोंट वांट टू स्टे विद द कम्युनिटी, दैट्स ऑल्सो एन ऑप्शन अवेलेबल वेयर यू कम बैक the same day and go for 10 days. So you have, it's in our neighborhood, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, Petapur mein. You have one in Bhuj, Gujarat. Bhuj again in Gujarat. Surendranagar mein, Gujarat mein. You have Patan, Mandavi, Bhuj again. Then you have local in Ahmedabad, Rawal Nagar in Ahmedabad, Chota Udaipur in Gujarat, Tejgarh, Bhasha Research Academy in Gujarat, Bhujodi in Bhuj, which is again in Gujarat, Dhamakada, Bhuj, Gujarat, Gir Somnath mein in Gujarat, Dang, which is a tribal belt in Gujarat, Jaisalmer in Rajasthan, Sanganer, Jaipur, Rajasthan, Jodhpur, Rajasthan, Udaipur, Rajasthan. Then you have Badanga community in Udaipur, Rajasthan, which makes covered. Chittorgarh, next. again one more in Chittorgarh, Kota, Alwar, Rajasamand in Rajasthan, Jaipur. Then you also have one international in Sri Lanka and in Kathmandu too. Then one in Bhutan also. Yeah. So the dates are, this is going to happen in November and December. So the exact date of this course is, I think, 25th of November and then till 10th of December. So this is the period when you will be visiting one of these places. है ना बहुत exciting? तो कहाँ जाना है आपको? हाँ? First line, which place is exciting for the first row? One place.
I think I'm more interested in Bhutan, I think, जो अभी screen पे है. Bhutan, yeah.
थोड़ा पीछे करो mic. Any place which you thought was
Yeah, Bhutan.
अच्छा उसका याद है, yeah. हाँ जी, slide change कर दो.
Actually, there are two options.
Yeah, we will be requiring 4 options from you. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. So first is Sri Lanka, and the second I will, I guess, go to Jaisalmer.
Okay, pass the mic. So this was about community immersion, where our team will be sending you these details through mail, and then take your time, discuss this with your parents, and then give your 4 options. Because there's a locking, so we are not taking more than 25 students, and कुछ details मैं आपको बता दूं, each group will have 1 male and 1 female teachers accompanying you. So we encourage, and this is not going to be a hotel accommodation when you are there in the villages. It will be very basic, maybe a community hall, a panchayat bhavan, or a school, or a hostel, or maybe homestay. तो ऐसा कुछ मज़ेदार होने वाला है. So don't expect a hotel accommodation or something. Travel distance के अनुसार जहाँ पे long distance है वहाँ पे we have calculated the cost based on the airfare or otherwise train or bus. तो ऐसा है ये community immersion, which will happen in November and December. So this was first. Now let's so next is, अभी 2 चीज़ बचे. क्या था 2 चीज़? 3 चीज़ों के बारे में हमें बात करनी थी. Rules. तो अभी rules बनाए या पहला there are courses which are going to be offered this semester, वो देखना है. Courses. ठीक है. तो अभी courses देखते हैं कि semester में generally here spring semester and monsoon semester. There are 2 semesters every year. तो अभी this semester is called monsoon semester. और उसके बाद वाला जो जनवरी से semester शुरू होगा वो होगा आपका spring semester. So you have 5 courses and no, you can put that. Yeah. So this is your big picture, where you have the first course, which is going to start from Monday, is visualization and representation, followed by technical drawing. Then you will have elements of design. There's one course, a theory course called research and communication, which will lead to community immersion. So research and communication, you will be learning how to do your research when you are in the field, in community. So courses वैसे ही planned हैं, and then you have semester end duty. There are 2-3 things, because now we are going to introduce you to the courses. I'll be calling the anchor faculty of the course, and they will be telling you about the course. लेकिन उसके पहले कुछ बात है ऐसी जो कॉमन है, जो सबके लिए, सारे कोर्स के लिए उतने ही important है. One thing is, so because at the end if you'll see, हमने लिखा है semester end jury. तो jury में आप courses के बीच में आपके grades आते हैं, as Gauri told you, so you will be graded A plus, say C plus or whatever. So we, in foundation, we encourage all our students, apart from the courses, regular assignments which they will be doing, they should also have a sketchbook with them. So every day you should sketch. वो बहुत ज़रूरी है, and there's a special marks for your sketchbook. So during your jury, when you are presenting your work, it's mandatory for all of you to show your sketchbook, which is not part of any course, but an independent sketchbook, your entire 4 months at Anant. So that is mandatory for all of you. One more thing which I wanted to tell you today, that it's not just the coursework which is important, but also आपने और क्या किया है, एक्स्ट्रा क्या किया है, वो कुछ भी हो सकता है. कोई ये भी ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो डिज़ाइन रिलेटेड ही हो. ये तो बिल्कुल ही ज़रूरी नहीं है वो कि कोर्स के बीच का हो. लेकिन अगेन योर ज्यूरी मेंबर्स विल बी वेरी हैप्पी टू सी सम एक्स्ट्रा वर्क विच यू हैव डन ड्यूरिंग द सेमेस्टर. तो वो दोनों, ये दोनों चीज़ बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप अभी से सोच लीजिए. इनफैक्ट ट्रीट दिस एज योर डे वन. स्टार्ट योर buy one sketchbook if you don't have from our stationery shop, and if you already have, start sketching. This is your first day today. So now what I'll do, I'll next slide please. Yeah, wahi tha. So we, as you all know, we have a credit based system. So visualization, representation, technical drawing and element of design, they are major courses. They have 4 credits each. 4 credit, 4 credit and 4 credit. And then you have a theory course called Research and Communication, which is 2 credit. And then Community Immersion again is a 4 credit course, 3 plus 1, because there's also a theory component in it. And then you have electives. So we have one separate presentation after lunch on electives. So you will be knowing about all the courses which are offered in electives. तो next करते हैं. Yeah. तो अभी we will be knowing about the courses which we are going to have this semester. तो पहला कोर्स क्या है, क्या लिखा है? Visualization and Representation. And I'll request Lalon to come to the stage and talk about it. और आप बताइए लालौन की visualization and representation मतलब क्या, और बच्चों से आप क्या expect करते हैं इस कोर्स?
So basically ये जो visual and representation जो आपका पहला कोर्स होगा, वो कोर्स प्लान मैंने डिज़ाइन किया है. So normally हम लोग जब डिज़ाइन में आते हैं पूछते हैं कि डिज़ाइन क्यों लिया था. आप एक बहुत कॉमन जवाब होता है, मुझे बचपन से ड्राइंग आता है और ड्राइंग करना पसंद है, इसलिए मैंने डिज़ाइन में आया है. जो कि सही है, सब कोई ड्राइंग किया है. बट हम लोग ड्राइंग लाइक विजुअलाइजेशन मीन्स लाइक आप कैसे विजुलाइज करोगे चीज़ों को एंड कैसे कम्युनिकेट करोगे थ्रू विजुलाइजेशन. सो उसमें एक बड़ा सा कंपोनेंट जो है वो है ड्राइंग. सो ड्राइंग आप लोग जिस तरीके से अभी तक सीखे हैं, इंट्यूटिवली हम लोग करते हैं ड्राइंग. इस कोर्स में हम लोग ये समझ के चलते हैं हमको कुछ पता ही नहीं है ज़ीरो से, ठीक है, और जिसको आता है वो उसको और कैसे डेवलप कर सकता है. बट ये बहुत साइंटिफिक वे में स्टेप बाय स्टेप यू विल गेट द आइडिया कि कैसे आप ड्राइंग करोगे. अब जब से ड्राइंग की बात आती है तो आप आंखें बंद करके तो ड्राइंग नहीं कर सकते, आंखों से देख के ड्राइंग करते हो. सो अगर इस कोर्स को मैं बोलूं कि 2 मेन कंपोनेंट है. एक कंपोनेंट जो स्किल बेस्ड है, जो आपका मसल मेमोरी क्रिएट करेगा हाथों से ड्राइंग करते हुए. एंड द सेकेंड पार्ट इज सीइंग थिंग्स. लुकिंग एट थिंग्स एंड सीइंग थिंग्स इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. सो व्हाइल यू आर ड्राइंग, practicing drawing, or you develop your skill, the same time you also develop your observation skill, correct? So इसको आप टेक्निकली ऐसे मत देखिए कि सिर्फ ड्राइंग करना है. टेक्निकल पार्ट भी है, साइंटिफिकल रैशनल है कि किस तरह के स्टेप बाय स्टेप कोई भी इंसान ड्राइंग कर सकता है, एंड देन प्रैक्टिस। तो आप देख सकते हो कि ये कोर्स अगस्त 10 से 3 है, और अमिताभ जी ने बोला है आप लोगों को कि स्केच बुक इट्स अ कॉमन फैक्टर, वो आप लोगों को हमेशा ही लेके घूमना है, ठीक है। मतलब वो इस कोर्स से स्टार्ट होगा और लास्ट कोर्स तक जाएगा, जिसमें आप ड्राइंग करोगे, स्क्रिबलिंग करोगे, आपके आइडियाज़ को लिख के रखोगे, वो एक पार्ट है। और इसमें आपको मेनली हम लोग स्टेप बाय स्टेप बताएंगे कि किस तरीके से ड्राइंग करते हैं, और फिर आपको उसको प्रैक्टिस को कंटिन्यूसली रखना है, ठीक है। आई थिंक इट्स इनफ। यस।
तो लालन मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है। क्वेश्चन ये है कि अभी तो बहुत सारे बच्चों के पास आईपैड है और वो, तो क्या वो ये क्यों डिजिटल ड्राइंग कुछ करने वाले हैं बच्चे, या क्या करने वाले हैं इसको?
एक्चुअली जब मैं ये कोर्स को प्लान कर रहा था तो मेरे बहुत सारे फैकल्टी फ्रेंड्स हैं जिन्होंने बोला कि ये इतना रिजिडली क्यों किया है, जैसे कि पहले इसमें कलर वलर करते थे हम लोग, है ना, ये सेम VNR पे, बिकॉज VNR इज ए विजुअल एंड रिप्रेजेंटेशन, तो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है तो कलर से क्यों नहीं, तो मैंने बोला नहीं, कलर नहीं चाहिए मुझे। सो द होल आइडिया इज कि आप जब ब्लैक एंड वाइट चारकोल या पेंसिल से जब ड्रॉ करते हो एक कागज पे फिजिकली, ऐसा मत सोचो कि आप जेंजी हो और मैं नहीं, मैं भी जेंजी हूँ, हाँ ऑलमोस्ट, ठीक है। सो स्टिकर है आपके फ़ोन के पीछे। सो मुझे एक चीज़ रियलाइज हुआ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वाइट बियर्ड, व्हाट आई रियलाइज और एक्सपीरियंस दैट आईपैड या टेक्निकल चीज़ों में दैट्स अ टूल, आप किसी पे कर सकते हो, आप दीवार पे पेंटिंग कर सकते हो, है ना। जब शुरू में नहीं था तो चारकोल से करते थे, अभी पेंसिल है, HB, स्टेडलर, कॉस्टली पेंसिल्स हैं, राइट। बट अगर आप बेसिक आइडिया को, कोर आइडिया को अगर आप समझ गए, फिर आप आईपैड में कीजिए, आप हवा में ऐसे हाथ हिलाइए और पेंटिंग हो जाए, कुछ भी हो सकता है। लेकिन कोर आइडिया को समझने के लिए आपको उसको आइसोलेट करना पड़ेगा फ्रॉम द कलर, फ्रॉम द एवरीथिंग, एंड यू हैव टू स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट थिंग। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम श्योर कि बहुत सारे लोगों का ड्राइंग बहुत अच्छा है, मेरे को भी ऐसा लगा था जब मैं अपना डिज़ाइन पढ़ाई कर रहा था, मैंने 7 साल फाइन आर्ट किया, उसके बाद बोला कि सीधा लाइन खींचो, मैं बोला ये क्या बात हुई, मैं तो पूरा उनका ड्राइंग कर दूंगा, लाइन क्यों खींचना है। फिर मुझे ये समझ में आया ठीक है मुझे ड्राइंग आता है, बट फिर मैंने री इन्वेंट किया कि एक्चुअली लाइन खींचने में क्या क्या चीज़ें जाती है, आप सिर्फ लाइन नहीं खींच रहे हो, आप जब स्ट्रेट लाइन खींचने जाते हो तो आपका ब्रीदिंग आप रोक के खींच रहे हो तो स्ट्रेट लाइन आएगा, एंड देन जब स्ट्रेट लाइन खींच रहे हो उसमें कहीं पे डेप्थ है तो उसका डेप्थ, इवन लाइन में भी आप वॉल्यूम समझा सकते हो। तो हर कोई, आई एम श्योर कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो एकदम ज़ीरो ड्राइंग नहीं है, या बहुत सारे हैं जिनका ड्राइंग बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा मांगा ड्राइंग करते होंगे आप लोग, बट आप ऐसा लग सकता है, हर एक असाइनमेंट लग सकता है यार ये तो सिंपल सा है, लेकिन आप उसको अपने तरीके से करो, और आई एम श्योर कि अगर जब कोर आइडिया को आप समझ जाओगे, फिर अमिताभ जी आईपैड हो या किसी में भी हो, यू कैन डू दैट।
तो अभी के लिए ये माने कि इनको मंडे से दे नीड टू ब्रिंग देयर पेंसिल्स एंड न्यूज प्रिंट्स, दैट्स इट।
या सो पेंसिल और वो लेके आना, वो नोटबुक जरूर लाना। एंड हमारे साथ हमारे डिपार्टमेंट में संजय जी हैं जो हर कब,
संजय जी खड़ा हुए,
हाँ जी, वेडनेसडे को हम लोग इजल मॉर्निंग को इजल लगा के गाना वाना बजाते हुए, ठीक है, वहाँ पे हम लोग स्केचेस वगैरह करते हैं। तो जस्ट कोर्स के अंदर नहीं, जैसे पहले बता रहे थे कि अदर एक्टिविटीज, तो आप वहाँ पे भी जो है आपका VNR को आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं।
Thank you, Lalan. So next course, Ikram. So this is technical drawing, and we have 2 anchor faculties here, Yavar Vani and Sanket Panchal. तो यावर और संकेत प्लीज स्टेज पे आ जाइए और बताइए स्टूडेंट्स को कि what is technical drawing 1 at Anant for foundation students. Yes, आप इधर आइए.
Thank you so much. So just to clarify, I am Yavarwani and this is Mr. Sanket Panchal. So for technical drawing is something that once you enter you start your courses, I think once you are friends with your seniors also, you will get to know it's one of the most tedious and boring subject. So ऐसा आपको सुनने को मिलेगा, but I want you to understand something. It is very tedious, but once you learn and you understand the nuances of the subject, you will really find it interesting once you have understood the subject. So for me, for right now, let me just explain to you what it is. Why is it so important for a designer to understand how to make a technical drawing? You all are here to be creatives in your respective disciplines. Somebody would want to be a space designer. Somebody would be interested in becoming a product designer. Somebody fashion, interaction design. All of the 6 courses which are available over here. So whatever you ideate, whatever you create in your profession, when you are trying to become a creative person, it is very important that whatever you create, you should be able to communicate it to people who are going to eventually execute it. So to learn that skill, to be able to make a drawing which a person who is going to be in future going to be executing the project is very important. It might be boring at the start, but it's only once you learn it that whatever you visualize will be able to execute in a proper way. So let's just say even something small like making even this small bottle. If you visualize, if you like the form of this, if you like the shape of it, if you make it, if you're not able to communicate properly to the person who's going to execute it, it's not going to become the same as it is. So technical drawing teaches you to be able to make a proper drawing of the product of whatever you want to execute in your life, and a proper drawing of it which gives you the proper dimensions, give you the proper naming of, let's say this as a bottle cap, you have to name it properly, you have to name the dimension of this, where is the graphics going to come. All of those things you need to be able to communicate to the person who is going to execute in the future. And it is also a language that is something that we speak between the creatives also. So as a designer, it is very important that there is a language that you have with your clients or the customers, and there is a language that you speak between designers also. Technical drawing trains you to learn that language which you need to have between designers also, creatives also. I think that explains most of it. And
yeah, and adding to what Yavar has already said, as a designer, we take a lot of creative freedom, but technical drawing is a course where you will learn to streamline that creative process, और वो process सीखने के बाद हम actual में जो हमने सोचा है उसको real world में ला पाए, ऐसे कुछ drawing बना के ताकि वो हम real world में execute कर पाए. वही एक process है जो हम सीखेंगे.
My question to both of you is that what kind of tools or stationaries they are expected to bring? Because उसकी भी तैयारी होनी चाहिए ना इनके पास कि what they are expected to bring in the class.
So yeah, this is very important. So again, I think the same question comes when sir asks कि आजकल iPad आ गए हैं और everything that we work on today is digital. But there has been always a traditional way of teaching this course specifically, that you have a board. That's a board is of a size of a A3 size or A2 size का wooden board होता है, and then you fit a parallel bar onto it, and you use a set square to make a 90-degree angle. And if you want to make a parallel line, maybe in VNR आप लोग freehand parallel line draw करना start कर रहे हो, but when you come to TD, आप एक line के साथ दूसरी line जब parallel draw करें, you use a parallel bar for it, which will introduce to you once you're in the course. These are the basic things that you need. After that, obviously, you need the right pencil, right cutter, right sharpener. All of those lists will come to you. But why do you need these things? Why do you need to draw a line with a hand using a parallel bar and set square? That is something very important. To draw a line on a digital screen does not give your brain that kind of learning that which you get from drawing on a parallel bar and set square. I hope so in design it is very important that you learn by doing things, and I'm hoping once you do that very diligently, you will understand the importance of that at that stage. I think that covers it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Next. So you have the next course, which is called EOD. EOD stands for Elements of Design, and this course is anchored by our faculty, Professor Tenzing Netse. Tenzing, I always wanted to know, लेकिन आज स्टेज पे ही पूछता हूँ, how you pronounce your surname? Tenzing सब लोग
It's actually Nyanse, which is a Tibetan word for, I'm a Tibetan, and it's a Tibetan word for compassion. But when I write it in English, it's mostly like we pronounce it as Ninze, with an N-I-N-Z-E-Y. So that's how I simply write it. Okay. The Elements of Design course, it's got two different parts to it. It's got composition and color. Color because Professor Lalon didn't want to teach color. So किसी के ऊपर तो डालना ही है, so why not composition? So composition color also goes very well together, and that was the actual reason why we brought the two things together. Also because जब drawing class हो रहे थे तभी we were just touch and go हो रहा था color का, but we wanted to spend a lot more time understanding color, and this is the course where we will be spending a lot more time understanding the basics of color, the fundamentals of color, the fundamentals of design. Having said that, I want to bring back what earlier the provost was talking about, visual thinking, right? So this course will teach you the basics of visual thinking. Okay, so आप जो भी देखेंगे आजकल everything is visual around you. The movies you watch, the screen that you watch, the online shopping that you do, I don't know, the books that you buy, everything is visual, right? And there are things that will tell you to do certain things, like, oh, I want to buy this Dyson vacuum cleaner because it looks good. Oh, I want to buy, press this button in the screen because this is letting me, making me push this button. So there are basic design fundamentals that are used for all of this, okay? So this course will touch upon those basic aspects of design, whether it be communication, whether you're designing a poster, whether you're into product design and designing a product, whether you are into interactive design and designing a website, you will be using these underlying principles of design to communicate your ideas. So that's what the Elements of Design is all about.
Thank you. Thanks, Tenzing. Next is research and communication, followed by community immersion. So these two courses I'm anchoring, and as I told you earlier, you will be learning from India's best ethnographic researchers. They'll all be there in the campus to tell you what is ethnography research when you go to the villages. So we are not doing design project research. So this is not about design research. Design research हम सीखेंगे जब projects करेंगे तब. अभी लोगों से कैसे मिलना है, लोगों से क्या सीखना है, हमें कैसे व्यवहार करना है, ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So the basic of research, and then how to document it, how to present it in front of the world. So research and communication is the name of the course. It's a theory course where we will be learning about ethnographic research as well as living in community. So, and then this is followed by the community immersion, which is the next course. Again, as I told you, and we have discussed this in detail, we have also, now we know how many places we are offering and what will be the structure of this module. तो इसके बारे में तो बात हो ही गई है. And then at the end of this course, we will all be, there'll be a big fair where all these people जो अलग-अलग जगह गए हैं, वो सब आके अपना काम प्रेजेंट करने वाले हैं बड़े कम्युनिटी के लिए. Next. Yeah, so we have already covered all these, and as I told you, you will get a detailed document on this so that you can refer them again when you talk to your parents, discuss with them. One thing which I'll tell you, कि हमारा क्राइटेरिया होना क्या चाहिए, हम कैसे चुने किसी जगह को. एक तो ये है कि मेरा फ्रेंड जा रहा है इसलिए मुझे जाना है, वो सबसे बड़ा हो जाता है, या फिर बहुत सारे लोग वहाँ जा रहे हैं इसलिए मुझे भी जाना है. लेकिन आप एक्चुअली आपका दिल क्या कहता है उस पर ध्यान देना, ना कि क्योंकि उसके साथ मेरा फ्रेंड के साथ मेरी कंपैटिबिलिटी बहुत अच्छा है, कोई साथ पे तो रहेगा, वो फैक्टर हो सकता है, वो हमारे साथ भी होता है। लेकिन आप ये देखो कि आप अगर, या फिर ऐसा कहीं कि वो बहुत इजी है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अ गर्ल फ्रॉम वेस्ट बंगाल इफ शी चूजेज सुंदरबंस, तो मुझे कोई बहुत एक्साइटमेंट नहीं होगा। अ गर्ल फ्रॉम वेस्ट बंगाल शुड चूज वायनाड इन केरला, या a boy from Gujarat should choose लद्दाख। तो ऐसे जहाँ पे आप अभी नहीं गए हो या जहाँ कुछ नया सीखना चाहते हो या किसी क्राफ्ट में आपका इंटरेस्ट है, वैसी जगह चुनना। मोस्ट ऑफ दीज प्लेसेस what we have done, so the common factor of most of these places, can you tell there's one common link? सब में अगर एक वर्ड में सब जगहों को कनेक्ट करना हो तो वो क्या है बताओ? Yes, traditional craft. So each place has a craft identity. तो ये सारे जगह में कुछ ना कुछ एक क्राफ्ट है, तो वो हमें उस क्राफ्ट में अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट हो वो सीखना है। तो सेलेक्ट, व्हेन यू सेलेक्ट फॉर अ प्लेस यू विल हैव 4 ऑप्शंस। 4 ऑप्शंस इसलिए कि फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व बेसिस पे अगर 25 आपका लॉक हो गया तो आपको फिर सेकंड ऑप्शन में मिलेगा। अगर पहले ही किसी ने उसको बुक कर लिया तो बी लिटिल अटेंटिव, जब आपको ये आपके पास ये मेल आए और जब आपके लिए लास्ट डे हो तो डोंट वेट फॉर द लास्ट डे और लास्ट आवर, डू इट इमीडिएटली। या नेक्स्ट अपार, यस, सो दिस इज एक्चुअली वी आर रनिंग बिफोर टाइम। क्या टाइम हुआ अभी? हाँ, इट्स द राइट टाइम। हाँ जी, यस 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 यस। सो कम, इधर आओ, इधर आओ। So he is Akshaj, and you will be knowing about him in the next session when we talk about. So he reminded me of something. तो हम लोग हमेशा कान में कुछ कुछ बोल देते हैं। तो we want to start a new culture in foundation, इसलिए मैंने अक्षज को इधर बुलाया कि हम ऐसे कोई बातें नहीं है जो हमारे बीच ऐसा कुछ होना ही नहीं चाहिए जो हमें अलग से बोलना पड़े। तो सब बात सबके लिए, इट्स ऑल वेरी वेरी पार्टिसिपेट। दैट्स वाई आई वांटेड टू यू टू सेट योर रूल्स। वो हम ऐसे भी करेंगे, क्लासरूम में भी करेंगे। सो ही केम विथ अ प्रॉम्प्ट दैट वी नीड टू स्टार्ट द नेक्स्ट सेशन एट 1:45। तो आप 1:45 तक लंच ब्रेक के बाद इधर आ जाइए, ऐसा ही कुछ ना? यस। सो दिस वाज हिज मैसेज टू मी कि आप 1:45 में इधर लंच के बाद इधर फिर से आ जाइएगा, क्योंकि sharp at 2 o'clock, sharp. One more thing. How many of you noticed something when the provost arrived? There was some sound. किसी ने नोटिस किया था? क्या था वो? क्या था? हाँ? एक स्कूल बेल का भी साउंड था. So this school, it's not just for school bells. I don't know whether it still happens in cinema halls also. When a movie starts, you have a bell. वो टाइम का है. So we at Foundation, we are very, very serious about being punctual. तो आप आए या नहीं आए, हम भीड़ देख के कोई सेशन शुरू नहीं करने वाले हैं. When I say 2 o'clock, that means the session will start at 2, and for that, please settle down, start settling down here by 1:45. Am I right? Yes. Do you have any other thing to say? No. Chalo. So this is the lunch break for you. After lunch, we are meeting again at 1:45. The session will start at 2.